Welcome to the Tuesday night corporate training call. This is the 14th of August on a Tuesday, beautiful Tuesday afternoon. My name is Dave Webb, Senior Vice President of Communications and Marketing for the M Global Corporation. We're glad you're with us. We're glad to have all of you joining us. If this is your first time, this is where we share a little bit of information to help you through your M business, to build, whether you want to build on a fast pace, slow pace, medium pace, just want to learn more about the company. We're eager to share whatever we can to help that experience go smoothly and to provide a little bit of insight into how others and leaders and yourselves are doing some of the great things they're doing with M. So tonight we have a follow-up from last week's call. Last week, and again, these calls are available on the YouTube channel for M Global. We post them in the Facebook user group called M University, and we will post this one there as well. Last week, Joe Melling started us off with a great training and promised that there would be follow-up. Tonight's the follow-up. We've got that ready for you. And Joe has done a special favor by taking some of his weekend to record his message for us. Now, I can say that with confidence and knowing that I'm not betraying anything from Joe, because Joe has earned himself a cruise. So when you see those cruise photos that Ryan Anderson and his wife Sharana are posting on the Facebook groups, know that those 23 businesses have earned that spot for the cruise. They're right now heading toward the Bahamas. Maybe they're in the Bahamas. I don't know. Maybe I'm jealous and I don't care, or I care so much because I'm so jealous. But anyway, Joe is on that cruise. He's earned that cruise, and they took off a couple of days ago, and Joe knew that we were hoping to get some more training from him this week, so he has provided that in the form of a recording. Now, the recording is actually going to be probably smoother than anything we've tried to do live before, but I will be eager to play that right now, so let's jump into it. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Joe Melling, who has helped us from the beginning of this year, mainly 2018. He's been a great source of information and training and background for us all. And then we'll make sure we have this information available to you as quickly as we can. But without further ado, I'm going to present Joe, and he'll be presenting as if he were live. He was live when he recorded it. He is alive right now, so let's dispel any rumors to the contrary. But Joe has provided this in a recording for us, and we're eager to make that available to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Joe Melling.
Good afternoon, evening, everyone in the M Global family all around the world. Following up, that's a one-time event, but following through, guiding your prospect from exposure to exposure to exposure until they have enough education and understanding to truly know what they're saying yes or no to, or to truly have an idea of what they are choosing to do or not to do when they are making the decision whether or not to become a part of the M Global family. And I truly believe, as I'm sure all of you do, that there is only one logical solution or answer to that question. If we've done our job right, if we've focused on providing education and understanding every step of the way, and they truly understand our opportunity, our products, our compensation plan, our management team, our positioning in the marketplace, the explosive growth that's happening right now at M Global. There's only one logical solution, and that is to become a part of it at some level, whether as a customer, as a part-time member, or as somebody who says, who really their eyes are open and they can see potential and says, you know what, I am ready to stand up and take control of and change my family's financial future forever. So no matter what their involvement is, they get to choose what's right for them. But our goal, on every step of the process, is simply provide the education and understanding so they are fully aware of what they are saying yes or no to when it's time to make that decision. We've talked a lot about over the last few weeks that there are only a few skills. You know, the late Jim Rohn said there are only a few disciplines that have to be mastered to become top-notch or an expert in any endeavor that you might endeavor. There aren't 100 things you have to get really, really good at. There are only a few things. Well, in our profession, there are only a few skills that you have to develop. Only, different people say it different, but anywhere from 5 to 10 skills that you have to develop to truly be top-notch, be an expert, be a professional in this industry. And so one of those skills, the next skill in our series that really must be developed and learned, is the skill of how do you close people. No, I don't really like the word close. because really we're opening the door of opportunity. We're opening the door to a brighter future. We're opening the door to them making positive life changes. And as we discussed last week, truly becoming more, because what we become in the journey and the endeavor of building this type of business is really more valuable than anything we could possibly get. So we're really opening a door to a brilliant, amazing, bright future. And so that's what I really prefer is that, you know, we're opening a future, but the profession, you know, it comes down to most people to understand what we're talking about. It's closing people into the business. How do you help people finally make that decision of, yes, I'm going to do it? And so we're going to cover that a little bit. And really when it comes to how to be great at closing or opening virtual stores for people all around the globe, it comes down to a few keys to success. So the first key to success, and these are going to be more mindset keys, you'll notice, than actual doing keys. The first key to success is having good posture. Now, what do we mean by posture? Good posture does not necessarily mean standing or sitting up straight with your shoulders back, although that will help. When we talk about posture, we're talking about the energy that you're putting out. Having good posture means we don't run around and try and beg people to join us in this business. Okay, we have the posture that, you know what, we have the key to a brighter tomorrow. We have the key to a better future. We have the key to their goals and dreams in life, whatever they may be, coming true. So we need to respect that and honor it and cherish it and be inviting people to join us with a posture of, look, you make your own decision. I don't really care. We don't want to run around and try and beg people. We also don't want to have the posture of the used car salesman or the high pressure saleswoman that's trying to, you know, just get a deal done and just sign here and, you know, forget about all that. We'll tell you later, sign here. We don't want that type of posture. We want to have the posture of, look, we're here to assist you every step of the way. We're here to help you because we have the information. We have the understanding. We have the confidence. But this is a special cookie. If you don't want it, that's okay. Go ahead and go pursue your own life streams. But you have that posture of knowing that what you have your hands on, what you've got a hold of, being a part of this opportunity at this very moment in time is very, very precious. So have the posture and treat it as something precious. You know, you don't pull out the china and the silverware and shine up the table for a bunch of 3-year-old kids to come and have a tea party, you know, because you keep those precious utensils and the precious china away from where they can easily be destroyed. Treat this the same way. You want to have good posture. You want to have posture of what I have is important and it's wonderful. Second key to success in closing, ask good questions. It's not about pressuring. It's not about using fancy language or you know, trying to trick people or manipulate people. Ask good questions. Make sure you're tailoring an opportunity that will serve them and assist them in getting their goals and dreams. Ask the right questions, then just paint the picture that what you have is exactly what they're looking for. The third key to success in closing, be emotionally detached from the outcome. This is probably the very hardest thing. I remember a training I was doing when I was fairly new in the business, and I was training in a group, and when I said this line, I literally had a guy jump up off the front seat. He said, "How are we supposed to do that?" Right? So being emotionally detached from the outcome means if someone chooses not to join you, that you're okay with it. Emotionally, it doesn't matter. You don't get upset. You don't get angry. You don't get discouraged. You don't curl up in the fetal position and suck your thumb. You're emotionally detached from the outcome. Whatever they choose is right for them, you're 100% okay with. Now, that does not mean that you don't want them to join. That does not mean you don't, get really excited and try and build the belief and the credibility and paint the picture of what you could do with them together. It doesn't mean you don't want them on your team. It simply means that you're there, and whatever they choose today, you're going to be 100% okay with. And really, if you have the right mindset, if they don't choose it today, you just say, well, gosh, now is not the right time, but in 6 months, in a year, in 2 years, in 5 years, whenever they're ready, I'll be right here ready for them to join me in the business. The fourth key to success is be assumptive. And I love this little cartoon image. You look at the guy walking into the mouth of that crocodile or alligator. He's assumptive. He's on a mission. He's going in there. He's going to get what he wants, and he's coming back down, right? So you've got to be totally assumptive, where as you start to ask the closing questions, you're fully expecting 100% that they are going to join you and move forward in building a business. You want to assume that they are 100% ready. Okay. And so if you be assumptive, you'll act assumptive, which means, if they say, you know what, this just isn't for me, you're just shocked. It's like, what? What do you mean? How is that even possible? How is that even possible? You want to be totally assumptive, and that stems from asking the right questions, getting the right information about them and their goals and dreams, where you have the answer, you have the plan that they need. Then you need to go in with the assumption that they are going to see what you see, they're ready to rock and roll, and you're going to go conquer the world together. The fifth key to your success in the closing process is feeling like they are so blessed and lucky because they get you, right? They get you. You are their superhero. You are their Wonder Woman, Superman, whatever you want to call it. They are so blessed and lucky to get you, to have the opportunity to work with you right now in M Global. And listen, if this is your first day, you mentally might be saying, well, why would they be lucky to get me? Because nobody else shared it with them, right? You are the answer to their goals and dreams in life coming true. That is you. You are the one to save them from the stress and the obstacles that they're facing in life. So make sure a key to your success, yes, they're so lucky to have M Global. Yes, they're so lucky to have our amazing product line. Yes, they're so lucky to have a truly unique and different comp plan structured to help anybody achieve their goals and dreams, whatever level they're on. But you know what they're most lucky for? They're most lucky that you are there to share it with them. Because if you hadn't come their way, if you hadn't come along, they might not hear about this for 5 or 10 or 15 years. And their life could totally be transformed by then. Think of the years of freedom that you are offering them. They are so lucky and blessed to get you. The sixth key to success, and quite possibly the most important, is be prepared. The old Boy Scout motto, be prepared. I can't tell you over the last 12 years how many times I've had people say, well, gosh, I bumped into so-and-so prospect at the gas station, and they said, hey, they're ready to join. And I said, okay, I'll call you back tonight, or I'll call you back when I get back to my office. I don't have the information, or I don't have internet, or I don't have a computer, or I don't know what I need. And then that person doesn't answer their calls. See, at the gas station, they were ready to buy. And if you've ever made a big purchase or commitment in your life, you know what always follows shortly after is regret for making that decision. Buyer's remorse, we call it. So what happens is you bump into somebody, they're like, hey, I made a decision, I'm ready to go. And you're like, okay, yeah, call me back later. And what happens, they leave, and emotionally they purchase. And all of a sudden, buyer's remorse sits in like, oh, what did I do? Whoa, I made a commitment. Whoa, oh no. Now Joe's counting on me to follow through. Oh no. And then so I try and call my prospect back, and guess what? They don't want to answer. Why? Because they know why I'm calling. I'm calling to get their credit card. But all they're feeling is a remorse, even though the decision was never followed through with. So you want to be prepared. A couple things to do in this category. Number one, memorize the information that you need. Okay, go through the enrollment process, write down all the things. I need their name, I need their address, I need their zip code, I need their billing information, I need their credit card, I need the 3-digit code on the back. If it's an American Express, it's a 4-digit code from the front. I need to know which pack they want to choose. I need to know what they want on their blue box order. I need to know their birth date, Write down all that information, have it memorized. That's part of being prepared. Now, if I bump into someone at the gas station, hey, that's awesome, Johnny. I'm so happy you're ready to go. I can grab a napkin or a note paper and say, hey, let me get just some brief information. And as soon as I get back to my office, I'm going to have you all set up. I will call you later tonight with all your login information to your own back office. What name do you want on your account? You know, what's your birthday? What's your address? What's your credit card? Know that if it's an Amex, it starts with a 3. A MasterCard starts with a 5. A Visa starts with a 4. Discover starts with a 6. And so when they give you the card number, you already know what type of card it is. And you know whether you're asking for the 3-digit code on the back or the 4-digit code on the front. Make sure you ask them if the billing address is the same as the shipping address. Okay, get all that. Be prepared to take all that information. Also, what be prepared means is that when somebody says they're ready to go, you should know, based on what they want to do with the business, what pack they need. You know, one of the biggest mistakes people make is we just say, okay, well, I'm glad you want to join M Global. Okay, what pack do you want to buy? Well, you're the professional. You're their leader. You're their expert. You shouldn't be giving that option to them. You should be telling them what they need based on their goals and dreams. Hey, you told me you want to make, you know, within 6 months, a couple grand a month. This is the pack that you launch your business with. It's kind of like if you went to buy a McDonald's franchise and you go give them $1 million and then they said, okay, what kind of equipment do you think you want? Well, you've never owned a McDonald's. You have no clue what equipment you need. You are the leader. So be prepared. Know what pack is best, what is right, what is your team promoting, what is your success team and the leaders you're working one-on-one with, what are they teaching on the calls, what are they presenting in opportunity meetings, and you want to make sure that what you're prepared to help that person purchase on their initial order, that you're prepared to guide them to what's going to put the odds of success more in their favor. So be prepared. Once you have those 6 keys in place, you're ready to be assumptive. You've asked good questions all through the exposure process where you know what their goals and dreams are, you know, and you've got good posture and everything's in line, those 6 keys, then it's simply a question asking party. Okay, closing is not about statements. It's not about pressure. It's not about manipulation. It's all about asking good questions. So it's just a party. So last week, we talked about the trial close where you're going to test the water. Where we said, let me ask you on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being you have 0 interest and 10 being you're ready to get started today. Where would you say you are at? And last week we talked about if they're a 7+, we're moving through the closing sequence. If they're less than a 7, then we want to go back to the exposure process. And last week we covered what questions they're going to ask to go back through the closing process. This week we're going to assume they're a 7 or higher. So this is the closing process. If they're a 7, you don't say, okay, well, let me get you to a 10. They don't need to be a 10 to get started changing their life, building their goals and dreams. So if they say 7 or higher, you're simply going to ask this question. Based on what you have seen, if you were to get started with M Global on a part-time basis, approximately how much would you need to earn per month for this to be worth your time? Okay, how much per month? Question number 2, and write that down. Whatever they say, write it down. Approximately how many hours could you commit each week to develop that type of income? Question number 3, how many months would you work those kind of hours in order to develop that type of income? Now, what you want to do is just make sure this is somewhat reasonable. Okay, so if someone says, well, I need to make $1 million a month. Well, you know what? That's possible with M Global. But then you say, how many hours could you commit each week to develop that kind of income? And they're like, 1 hour. You say, how many months would you work those kind of hours to develop that kind of income? 3 months. Well, now you've got a commitment of 3 hours over 3 months, and they want to make $1 million a month. So that's when you simply say, look, this probably isn't for you. That's not how our business works. That's more like the lottery, and you know what your odds are, but I recommend you play the lottery because that's the only way you're going to get that type of result. and help them come up with something reasonable. Now, if they say I want to make a couple thousand a month, I'm willing to work 5 to 10 hours a week, and I'm willing to put in 5 to 10 hours a week for 6 months to a year to get the income up to that level. Now you've got something somewhat reasonable, so you say, okay, great, we can show you how to do that. Now you're going to simply give back to them what they just gave to you. So if I could show you how to develop a part-time income of $2,000 a month, working 5 to 10 hours a week over the course of 6 to 12 months, would you be ready to get started now? And they're going to say yes, or they're going to say no. If they say no, then say, oh, what's the holdup, right? If they say yes, then you're simply going to say, what address would you like to use for your commission checks to be sent to? And they'll give you an address. Then you say, what credit card would you like to use for your membership and initial order? And they'll give you a credit card. And then you ask, is the billing address the same as the shipping address? Okay, it's really that simple. If you follow through properly, if you approach the whole process with the idea of education and understanding, guiding them from exposure to exposure, and you're not asking these questions until they've already been through 6 to 12 exposures. Okay, they should have already tried the product. They should have seen a presentation. They should have seen some short videos, probably looked at some PDFs or documents on our comp plan or on the product. Okay, they should have done a 3-way call, or maybe 2 or 3 3-way calls with different people on your success team so they know who they're partnering with. If you've done all of that, then you ask these questions, you will get yeses. You will get them to just give you an address and just give you a credit card. It really will work and be that easy if you've laid the proper groundwork from the beginning. So here is some skill development work for you to work on over the next week to truly develop skill in this process. Number 1, role play the questions that you should be asking before the trial close or as part of the trial close and after the trial close, so they roll right off your tongue. 5 days a week should be the minimum until they flow. This is part of that preparedness. Part of being prepared is you being ready to ask questions. See, what most people do is they procrastinate practicing what they're going to say. And then they get a prospect that is like, hey, I'm ready to go. Let's do this thing. And they're like, blah, 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 blah. I don't know what to say. Okay, let's call somebody, right? That is not the time for you to be uncertain. When they're making a decision, the most important thing you can do as a leader is be certain and let them know and feel, okay, great, I'm glad you're on board. Here's where the ship's going. And part of that is memorizing those questions so that you're not thinking about what am I going to say next. See, they'll feel the certainty when you're just taking charge and asking the questions and saying, look, based on what you've seen, how much money do you need to make on a monthly basis for this to be worth your time? How many hours a week are you willing to work to develop that type of income? How many months are you willing to put those hours in to develop that type of an income? If those just roll right off your tongue, then you're not thinking about what you're going to say. Your tongue already knows what to say, and it's just going to say it. And you're actually focused on being present with the person instead. Number 2, in your conversations with friends and family this week, practice asking questions only. Try to talk or share as little as possible, but ask a ton of questions about what is going on in the world. See how many follow-up questions you can ask from a single initial question. Example, your child comes home from school, and you say, hey, son, how was your day today? Oh, it wasn't very good. How come it wasn't very good? Well, it rained. Well, you were inside. What did that have to do with it? Well, because we didn't get to go to recess. Oh, do you like recess? Yeah, well, what's your favorite part of recess? Well, I like playing basketball. Well, who do you play basketball with? You'll learn so much about their day just by asking question and follow up. And the crazy thing is, the more questions you ask, the more you endear yourself to other people. See, pushy salespeople, manipulators, con artists, they do all the talking, right? And they make you feel something based off their talking. True leaders, people that are authentic, will ask a lot of questions, right? Because they care more about you than about their sales pitch. So they're just going to ask question, ask question, ask question. The results, if you will practice this with your significant other, your spouse, your children, your teammates, in every conversation, ask as many questions as possible, really listening to what's going on in the world, you will have all the power you need to help them make a buying decision, because you can now solve their problems, because you took the time to listen and hear what those problems actually were. Skill development work number 3, purchase and begin reading the book, How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling by Frank Betcher. It's an older book, but it's one of the best books I've read in my life about how to develop a posture that will help you close more sales and develop a bigger team, and more importantly, have influence and be a true leader over that team to help you be successful. I want to thank all of you for taking a few minutes, spending some time with us here today. I'm so honored and grateful to be a part of this mission and to have you on this mission with us. And so grateful for M Global corporate team and staff and everything they do to give us all the tools. I mean, we are so blessed with amazing tools and training and products and comp plan, and they work tirelessly to provide that for us. So thank you so much to the M Global team and to Dave Webb. Appreciate you hosting these calls on a weekly basis, and we'll see y'all later. Bye for now.
There it is, folks. From the wise words of Joe Melling, those great, and this the beautiful part is you get to rewind this, cut out those little clips for yourself to remind yourself of what to say. Train yourself so that you can have the answer as you roll forward, as you come up with opportunities to meet people and to share what you love and what you're passionate about. I love that example of the kid who missed recess, and the parent is able to turn it into a fact-finding mission. Well, what do you like about recess? Why do you like basketball? Who do you play basketball with? Instead of just the shutdown, and how many of us have been the children who shut down our parents and have then been the parents who got shut down by our kids. You know, fine, nothing. We know all those answers. So if you know how to keep drawing more answers out, like Joe said, you become interesting to people by asking them to talk about themselves. You find out what they need, what they're interested in, what they're passionate about, and then we believe that M can provide a solution to some of their concerns. Whether they're concerns, worries, issues, awarenesses, even those things are also very valuable, and we know that M has a lot of great solutions, whether it's in wealth and opportunity, whether it's in personal wellness, whether it's in fashion and beauty, or in self-development. These things are available, the things that we're working on, and we know we're getting excited about some things coming up. So we hope you're prepared for the convention, November 1st through 3rd. Ask all your questions to the customer service and member support line. All the great people at that line will be eager to help, eager to answer questions. We're open again from 8 a.m. Mountain Time until 8:30 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, Monday through Friday. Again, that number, I believe, 855-750-9937. That one I'm more sure of. If you heard the earlier number, I may not have been right, but I'm pretty sure it's 855-750-9937. Thanks for being with us, everybody. It's just about 5:29 p.m. here in Utah. We appreciate you being with us. Thanks for all your passion and your energy. Greetings from all of us at the M Global Home Office. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you again next week.